Hey, what's up, world? It's your boy G Shrimp, everybody favorite every day, the voice of the street, man. And today we in Atlanta with it, y'all. So hit that like button, y'all. Subscribe to the channel, y'all. Let's get right into it, man. We're gonna be talking a little bit about the 50 Cent and T.I. beef, man. It's just really crazy when grown ass millionaires, man, cannot get along. And then the bottom line is really everybody be trolling and acting like they big time on the social media and acting like they tough on social media and doing a lot of things, and it's really be all for television. And they should understand that by now. Everybody should know 50 Cent is a troll. And he do things like that to tease people. Now these two got real money. So it ain't like they got the front on social media. But I do agree with T.I. to a certain extent on this one. You messing with his wife. And 50 was kind of mad because T.I. just said this. They supposed to have been doing the verses. They was gonna match 50 Cent and T.I. up to do a verses. And I looked at some of the songs they had matched against each other, right? I think it would have been a good look. Cause 50 got some good hits and T.I. do too, y'all. You know what I mean? T.I. do too. So T.I. done been on quite a few little podcasts and he said, man, yeah, I want to do a verse. He said, who you want? He said, no, I want 50. I want 50. And remember, just because y'all doing the verses don't mean y'all enemies. Enemies don't have to just do verses. It's really just a competitive business, and that's all it is. We want to see some people that's going to entertain us and the music that captivate our ears that we love, right? So, and 50 had the nerve to put a picture up a tiny, y'all. It was one of her pictures that didn't look too good. It was not flattering. It was probably, if you had to pick her worst picture out, I think this would have been it. She was a little bit overweight. She probably had on something a little tight. I had to find the picture yet, but he put it up and said something. But you know what it did though, y'all? It brought the beast out of T.I. and King. Now, I will say this about King, right? And I'm going to give him his little flowers. He have really got his shit together since last year with all that buffoonery he was doing, all the shenanigans and shit, acting tough, want to tote guns and do all that. Boy, cut it out. You got a good life, enjoy that. You don't have to want to be from the street. Your daddy done elevated you from the street. You don't have to be out there trying to get stripes and none of that. That's not cool. But he just dropped a diss song about 50, and guess what? It is a nice song. He went hard too. He said, God damn it, I don't beef about the street something, but for the fam, I make it shake. He said, I make something shake for the fam. He said, you talking about my mama, nigga. He said, you better get up off my mama. And then, not in the song, but when they was online trading insults, he got real disrespectful with 50. He like, go dig your dead mama up. For people who don't know, 50 Cent mama is dead. She died when he was 9 years old. She was a drug dealer in New York, and she was doing her thing. And you know how that go, man. You out here hustling or whatever. Something happened, and she ended up catching some. And that kind of hurt 50, right? He had been raised by his grandmama, and they did all right. They came out and living good. You feel me? And T.I., one thing I respect about him a lot is he's a good father, man. And he's staying his kid's life. I love how him and Tiny keep their relationship, together. Even when it ain't all peaches and cream. They'll make it look good for the television and all that. Hey, that's what you're supposed to do. Don't let everybody see what the fuck going on behind your curtains when you close the window. Don't nobody need to see none of that, what's going on. So I like T.I., man. And 50 is alright, but I think 50 is a troll and a bully. But one thing about being a troll, you be trolling and messing with people, and then when it's finna start getting hot, you'll take some shit down or tap out and act like you just did it smoothly. But you don't supposed to. I agree though. You don't supposed to be out here looking for enemies when you're a millionaire though, bro. So I can respect that. But like, oh, these niggas tripping on that little picture, I'll take that picture down. That ain't nothing. You know what I mean? You got to respect. 50, you got to respect. T.I., that's his wife. And then the son, that's his mama. So yeah, you done got both of the rappers hot. And like I say, I will give it to King. His raps have got much better. Much better. I done heard quite a few songs he had been dropping lately, and they've been nice songs. You feel me? They go a long way from how some of his stuff used to be in sound. It sound real good now. I'm like, look at old Tim King trying to get in there and step his bars up, man. And I love the little show that they do, right? Him and his brother, they got the little show they do, and the whole family is involved. With T.I. involved, in Tiny, all them, and you get to see parts of them. They listen. This is another thing. They smooth criminals, man. You know what they say? A smooth criminal. And I ain't talking about breaking the law type. I'm talking about this smooth fathers, how they own the show. And they got their restaurant in the show. Show them working in there and everything. It's Bankhead such and such. And it's a restaurant that T.I. owned. And he let his two sons run it, right? And they go collect money and do whatever, but it's a good look. I ain't never seen King so well behaved in my goddamn life. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, boy. Screw your head back on right. And another thing, he dealing more with his brother, that's the one that don't get in no problems. You feel me? And they pretty cool. That guy there is more laid back. You feel me? He more laid back. You can tell he a thinker. He ain't trying to get out here and get in no trouble and things like that. And sometimes when you're around good, positive people, stuff will rub off on you. I think that's what happened around him. He hanging with his brother more, and it's rubbing off on him. Maturity, basically maturity and being responsible, that rubs off on you. And for you know it, you actually a good guy. Yeah, man, you actually a good guy, man. You done cut that bullshit out, all the shenanigans out, man. It's over with, you dig? Live your life, stack your money, man. Keep your family tight. I love seeing family like that, y'all. We always want dysfunctional shit. Don't nobody want to watch it if it's positive though, and you getting good vibes from it. But if they was fighting and King was still clowning, everybody would be wanting to see. Man, I'm finna go see what's happening, man. King stole on T.I. What? Yeah, he stole on Tip. They say he slapped Tip motherfucker head off, man. What? Yeah, man. T.I. had the head tilted to the side all perfectly how he had it. King slapped that motherfucker off, man. And look, all you hear is cussing and beep, 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 beep. T.I. had got on that nigga little ass, boy, and I'm telling you, it was up. Yeah, and T.I. King, he invested his money in stocks, He doing pretty good, y'all. I had Googled what his net worth was one time, and they broke it down. They like he doing real good in some stocks that he had invested in. I'm like, okay, that's what I'm talking about. Man, make good with your money. Don't just go spending on the chain at Donnie Dame. He just said that in one of his verses too. He said, I can go take 100,000 spend it on Johnny Dang with a chain. He said, but you know what? I don't need no chain. He said, I invested in stocks, and I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Think about if you took 100,000 and invested in stocks, and then let the money sit and don't go nowhere, and let the stocks build up, because they always go up and they always go down. You watch them go up, you can watch them go down, and when they go up, if you want to snatch some of your money out there, you can. If not, let it sit and keep building. You feel me? Keep building. Look at 50, man. Look at 50, man. Big ass troll. Big ass troll. And one thing about 50, y'all, he is so petty. That's basically how you sum a nigga like him up. He is a petty ass nigga. You know what I mean? I be thinking, damn, 50, y'all really have too much money to be entertaining bullshit. You feel me? I'm going to say it again. Y'all have too much money to entertain bullshit. Like, y'all know things go through the grapevine. Where it started, it sound like this, but by the time you hear it, it done got so much shit added to it, you be like, what? Who said, when did I say that? They done added all this shit, because everybody tell the story, y'all. Go add a little touch of theirs in there. One person might be a funny nigga. He go throw a joke in there. Then another nigga might be a serious nigga. He go put some seriousness in there. So when you hear the story again, you hearing the joke and the seriousness and what you said at first, which was the original story. And you like, where all this other extra shit came from? It came from the grapevine, y'all. Have y'all ever looked at a grapevine and seen what it does? How shit be tangled all up, and yeah, that's what that is, man. Yeah. So I'm rooting for this beef to just be over with quickly. And I don't want none of this to go to the street. Don't try to test each other. Don't try to pop up at nobody's set. Music videos or none of that. Y'all keep that shit on wax and keep it on wax only. Not, it ain't even wax no more, but I'm talking about the internet, man. Keep it on the internet and you will be okay, man. For real. Anyway, man, it's your boy G Shrimp. Everybody favorite baby daddy voice of the street, man. I'm a plenty nine digging letter. Y'all let me know who y'all think is winning this here demonstration, man. But before I go, let me show y'all something else, man. I've been reading a lot of stuff, man. I've been finding all kind of shit. Let me see if I can find my other phone real quick. Got 3 of these motherfuckers right here. And the little thing I be quoting and reciting from, it's called Quota's Digest or something. Quora Digest. Yes. I'm going to see if I can find the little part, because they be having some hell of a little stories on here, y'all. They be having some hell of a little stories on. Here goes something. This is what I'm finna read. This say, what is something you learned very late in life that you wish you knew earlier? Anybody want to answer that? Leave it in the comments, man. Hold on. You heard what I said? I want y'all to leave your answer in the comments, man. Yeah, it's a lot going on here. This here, I'm going to read it again. It said, what is something you learned very late in life that you wish you know in your early years? I'm like, think about that for a minute, This next one said, we fall into a trap of blaming our environment when we lose our temper. We blame the traffic. When we fail to do something, we blame it on. I had to open this one up. It was a long one. Next one is, How do you concentrate on a particular thing without getting easily distracted? Yeah, well, you have to break that out. What is some meaning of life from your point of view? What is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life from your point of view? Y'all can write them down, y'all, and ask them yourself. Them be good exercises and things to do, right? Negative zodiac traits. Negative zodiac trait, like your zodiac sign. What's your sign? I'm a Taurus, the bull, man. Taurus, the bull, man. Good men, they are honest, y'all. They really honest people. They try to hang in there. They loyal. You know, you get you a man that's a Taurus or a woman that's a Taurus, y'all. Depending on what the other sign is, y'all could probably go somewhere. But me, I really, when I be dating a woman, I ain't never even asked the bitch what's her sign. If I'm smart enough to figure it out and I'm like, oh, your birthday in July or you're a Cancer or something like that, it might come up like that. But I ain't the type to say, oh shit, Virgo, I can't fuck with her, man. I don't fuck with no Virgos, man. I don't give a fuck what sign this bitch is. You know what I mean? It's the character that you should be falling in love in or out of love with, not her damn sign. You worrying about her zodiac sign for this here say when a narcissist know that you know what they do next is truly disgusting. Wow. Let me read that again. When a narcissist knows that you know what they do next is truly disgusting. You have to look into that. Why do people cheat? What's the physical logic behind it? Why do people do it in good relationships? I don't know, man. That's like they say, that's psychological. That's a psychological question. What is your philosophy of life and why? Next question say, I was napping in my bed upstairs. I was trying to wake up, but I could not move. Sleep paralyzed me for a minute. Stop jumping around, man. Thing trying that, like you always can say, that's the devil. That's the devil there. It ain't the devil. That's this phone jumping, man. Ain't got nothing to do with the damn devil. Yeah, well, that's just some of the questions, man. Reading through this, y'all can answer some of those. I'm gonna go back and see if I can't find this other story I was reading, and it says things like one story I had read. The guy and the woman had been married a year. After a year, she asked for a divorce, and he gave it to her, right? And then he went on about his business. She went on about hers. She lost a lot of weight, and he did what he did, but she said he remarried and is doing well, and she doing well. But some stories like this I don't like because she was fat at first, and then she lost a little weight, and now she wanna divorce her husband because she ready to move on. See, women like getting eye candy and getting something that look good on their arms too, fellas. You feel me? But I look at this, that's sad, man. If y'all supposed to be married, you was down with him. He fucked with you while you was a little fat girl. Now you wanna dump him because you done lost weight now. You ain't a fat girl now. I just watched a story on that. It was on Channel 5. So what's that? The Oxygen Channel. They be talking about the murders and stuff. This man married a woman and they was going through everything, nothing negative. She was fat. You know what I mean? She was fat. And he took care of her. She was a stay-at-home mom. He went to work. He paid all the bills, did everything, didn't hit her. He was a cool, good husband, right? She started losing weight, y'all. Went back to school a little bit, lost a little weight, right? Lost like 150 some pounds. And now she looking good. She's slender. She got a new job. When she went back to school, now she's a kindergarten teacher. And with her new weight loss, she jumping around in class and she having a ball. You feel me? She having a ball. But she's looking for somebody, right? She ended up going back to one of her old flames. So everybody thought. They just talked online a few times, because she showed off her figure and everything, let them know she was doing good, whatever. She had a husband, y'all. When you first look at him, now these Caucasian people, you look at him, you'll be like, look at this old gay ass nigga. No wonder she left this motherfucker. He don't look like shit, So I was looking at him. That's the thought I got. I'm like, that's the reason I got off. Look at this nigga here. But I'm going to tell you, I knew something was up. See, I watch interrogations, right? When they be in the room, people be trying to hold their composure, act one way or act not way. This motherfucker telling about his wife that's missing. They ain't think to nowhere. They had been broke up and this is his ex. But one thing I watched about him, while he was in there talking, the nigga was chewing gum. Just chewing gum. People would say, so what? G-Shrimp if he was chewing gum. See, chewing gum is something that he would try to do to calm him down. That's that nervousness that was in him from being interrogated. But he chewed that gum and it made him a little, a little more calm. Plus, they didn't have a clue what was going on. He wasn't even a suspect at first. He wasn't even a suspect. And most of the information they got about the other man, they got from his ass. So what it was, this nigga had found some way to tap her phone and he was able to read her messages and shit. Because that's how he knew she was fucking with the guy, right? The guy never came to town. They stay 500 miles apart. But he used to be her old flame. Plus, the guy had a woman already too, right? So, make a long story short, after the first husband, after his little interrogation, they need to find out who the mystery man is. The guy she had started dating or typing online with, right? Find him, call him, man. Like, yeah, sis, I know her. Would you like to come down here and talk to us? They like, yeah, I don't mind. I give me a minute. I gotta drive down. It's like a 2 hour. No, did I say was it 5 hours? Something, maybe 4. But anyway, he had to drive down there to the police station, and he did it willingly because he didn't have to. He could have been like, no, you motherfucker can come down here, find one of our police stations and talk to me. I'm not finna drive 500 motherfucking miles to talk to y'all. I guess should tell you no way, right? So he talked to the people and everything. They was cool. He told them, no, we didn't get to sexual or nothing. We had phone sex, fathers and text sex. Some new shit they call. I guess she typing, I want to suck your dick until your eyes roll back in your head and things like that. And I got my tongue in the crack of your ass and I'm licking it up. Y'all know something like that. Now, I don't know the recipe of how you do it, but I'm just saying, I think it's something like that, right? It's something like that, right? But, so, from find out there, only had did stuff like that. He hadn't even met back up with her, right? So, they talking to the guy, and he tells them one thing. They said, when was the last time you talked to her? And he like, Friday. That's the day the chick come up missing, right? And they like, yeah. She said, yeah, we wasn't trying to get together or do none such stuff. He said, but I do know one thing, it was somebody over there. He said, because I heard arguing. They like, you heard arguing? Like, yeah. Some guy was over there. I think it was her husband. And the police like, oh, okay. And that motherfucker didn't tell us that part. He didn't tell her he synced her the same night she come up missing. He didn't tell us none of that. Didn't tell us that, oh, I'm just left all that out, y'all. So they get him back in the jail, back in the interrogation room. Now they got some new questions for his ass. Say, hey, when the last time you seen your wife, man? Well, I seen this. He was trying to lie. They said, why the guy said you synced her that night and you and her were arguing? Yeah, well, we argued a little bit because I just wanted to know. You wanted to know what? I want to know where our marriage stand. You know where it stand. The bitch that moved out and got her own house, man. Her own house. She done moved out with. He got the kids and you do you. You can keep them. Because I'm finna get me some shaking. That's what she trying to do, right? And that's cool, right? They kept interrogating and fucking with the man. He was trying to come up with all kind of lies, y'all. And they kept saying, stop it. Don't do that. First he finna say she left with somebody. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And then he said, we got you, man. Just tell us what happened. Then he started thinking, damn, he got me. They know. You know what I mean? And then he went on, broke down and said, yeah, she's dead. I killed her. He like, where the body at? Well, I don't know where the body at. I paid some people to they don't start that shit, man. He said, don't start that shit. You ain't paid nobody to get rid of nobody. Where is that body at, man? This is your wife. We need to recover her. The damage is already done. How you gonna leave her somewhere rotten? This is the mother of your children. And people will try to lie for a little while till they get bagged into that wall. And then he had to Nah, they be doing that because they want to show remorse. You got to show remorse when you're dealing with these murder cases and things like that, because that makes a big difference when it comes to your sentencing. If the police tell the judge, man, I interrogated this motherfucker 5 hours, this motherfucker didn't have no remorse for her. Even when we backed him in the corner and told him where the lady was at, he had no remorse about it. He kept trying to lie and add more people into it. No, you done this. What you do with the body? And they stayed on him, and he eventually coughed it up, y'all. Had took her to the lake somewhere and parked and walked through some bushes because it was the lake, but it was a highway, a street that goes through. He parked on the shoulder, got out and took her down through there and dumped her in like a little creek and came back and got in his car and left. He put her in his car. Her car was still at the house. Or better yet, no, he did move. No, it was still at the house. It was still at the house because when they started it, they like, damn, where the fuck she had her car here? And, and she was so dependable, y'all. This is how they knew something was wrong very quick. She always get to work very early, right? One of her co-workers was on the way to work and like, okay, I can't wait to see my little friend. She be so excited and happy in the morning. And so she pulling a lot like, damn, she usually be the first person here. She like, damn, it's strange she not here yet. So when they get in there, she walked by her classroom. She like, damn, my door closed, the shades now. She ain't even been here yet. So they started doing the well-being check then. The co-workers called the police and they went over to the house and they contacted the superintendent of the building and he let them in. They walked around. They like, well, it don't seem like it was no disturbance or nothing in here. You know, everything was cool. Everything was cool in the house. They couldn't find no evidence of a struggle or nothing like that, right? But it was, obviously. I don't know if he choked her ass or whatever, but let me tell you this, ladies, y'all got to stop underestimating people. You hear me? I'm going to say that again. Y'all got to stop underestimating people. Now, like I said, when you look at that guy, her husband, he looked like a little nerd and he wouldn't hurt a fly. That don't mean nothing. You remember that song they had out? It's a thinner line between love and hate. Yes. Let that sink in for a moment. It's a thin, and they ain't just say thin, thinner line between love and hate. I'm talking about the line so motherfucking thin that you can step right over it just that easy. You know, you love her 1 minute and you're this bitch. Man, I'll cut this bitch damn throat, man. Playing with me like that. You know, think about the song. He said, I didn't think my woman would do something like that. I didn't think she had the nerve. You know, he said, but here I am, goddammit. I guess actions speak louder than words. I mean, I love that song. That motherfucker said, here I am in the hospital bed. He said, bandaged from feet to head, goddammit. He said, in the state of shock. Just that much from being dead. That's how it be when they come out on you. I was watching another one, same thing, like murder thing. This guy was a square, funny looking, awkward guy. Had a girl he hanging out with. She just friend. They friends. They ain't in a relationship or none of that. She didn't even look at him like that. She looked at him like a big brother. He's supposed to look at her like a little sister. Plus, he was her ride. Everywhere they went, she know he took her. You know, he did, right? All of a sudden, she come up missing. He got this little bullshit story. She got in the car with somebody. Whoa, whoa, whoa. They believed him at first because they like, well, they wasn't even in a relationship, but they got along well. And man, when they start doing that digging, and them cameras always tell on you, fellas. You know, it ain't like the good old days you can get away with shit. It's gonna be a camera that catch you somewhere. And they got a picture of his car heading toward the way where the body was dumped at. The road he was on was a paved road. And like 3 blocks down, it turned into a dirt road and went out to like the camping areas and everything. So they know if he going that way, only thing that way is the dirt and all that. And he raped that girl, had a condom on, he raped her, and then killed her. See, sometimes people do things and then realize, damn, I fucked up, I raped her. This bitch gonna tell on me, man. Shit. So you telling me you would rather be a murderer than a rapist? A rapist ain't nothing. You probably ain't no telling how much time you got for that. Could have been a misunderstanding, man. I thought it was consensual. I thought she was gonna give it to me, this and that, and y'all. Mm-mm. See, I don't play these games, man. I've been raised by a mama and daddy in the house. And my mama was strict with, ain't no cackling ass girls. She used to joke that they call them cackling, like they laugh too much. My mama didn't like that shit. But she like, hey, if the bitch ain't gonna get you no pussy, you not gonna take it, this and that. Just, hey, right? I had a woman over here one day, a chick I was messing with. And, I'm kissing on her, rubbing on her. And he said, I think she had panties and stuff on. Not sure what she had on, but we laying in the bed and I'm rubbing and she you tell she getting ready. Stop. Stop. She's scrubbing like a mother. Stop. Stop. I stopped. Why you stop? Because you said stop. No means no over here, bitch. I don't know where you've been hanging out at, but no means no. No, I didn't want you to stop. I said, well, say, don't stop. And guess what? That bitch corrected it. When she started back scrubbing, she like, ooh, don't stop. She fixed that shit. You feel me? She kept on saying, stop. But she threw that don't in there. Ooh, don't stop. Yeah, I know you ain't want to stop. But no means no. Sometimes, you can be making a woman hot and she getting hot. She like, oh, stop, because I really don't want to fuck with you. Making me horny, nigga. You got your hand in my pants. Stop, nigga. Shit. This pussy is burning up. I don't want to give it to nobody yet. I had a boyfriend. People do some weird shit, y'all. And they be cheating. I had one chick over here, y'all. Little plump girl. She was a little fat girl. She had a boyfriend and just went to jail. And she came over here and gave me some pussy, right? After she gave it to me, this bitch just started crying. I'm like, damn, boo, what's wrong? He don't even go today. And I'm over here like, bitch, I didn't invite you over here. You came over here with your girlfriend. You separate from your girlfriend while she go with my boy, and man, you in here. I didn't force you to do anything. Now, I know that's that guilt and that shame coming on, but listen, you cry when you get home, bitch. Don't do that here, because I ain't did nothing to you. And it always been my motto, y'all, how I play it. I don't undress no bitch. She's gonna undress herself. It's my line. Take that shit off. We can be doing something or getting close, and when y'all getting close, babe, take that shit off. And she get up and take her shit off. Cool. You know what time it is. But if she don't want to do it, then you also know what time it is. Then I had another little move I used to do where if I'm in there and we getting close to doing it, and say I've been kissing her trying to get her hot, and I'm there, I got pissed real quick. Now I finna go out the room and say, hey, babe. She said, what? When I come back, I want you to be naked. Now, if she want to give it to you, for real, she she gonna be naked. If you come back and her ass still got her clothes on, you can take her home. Take her ass home. All right, you ready to go? Huh? Why? I thought we was finna chill. Don't seem like you want to chill, nothing like that. You still got your clothes on. Still got your clothes on. I heard another guy crack a joke like, he said he was smoking weed with his bitch, right? And he said, yeah, this some fire ass weed. She like, yeah, this weed fire. He said, I can't tell, bitch, you still got your clothes on. And she said, man, shit, I'm waiting on you. Fuck you talking about? You still got your clothes on. He said, they got undressed together, man. Boy, I done had some stories and went through some shit in my life, y'all. I am glad to be living. Feel me? I done went through a lot of shit, you know. I done survived major shootouts. I done survived ambush. You nigga try to ambush me and things like that, boy. And trust me, shit done got real wicked up here. That's why this stuff these young guys doing, it don't bother me because, you know, they learned from us. And we learned from guys older than us. And just so on and so on. It's getting worse because we could fight, do this and that. We just retaliated, period. Whatever was going on, we retaliated for it. You slap a chick, we go slap a chick. You burn up a house, we go burn up a house. You shoot up a car, we go shoot up a car. If you kill a motherfucker, we go kill a motherfucker. So fast forward that now to these times. What you think they doing? They retaliating for all these murders. You know what I mean? You see, they just fired the woman up down here at St. Sabina, right? They say she was a troll teasing people online about dead people and all that. Ladies, I wouldn't advise you to do things like that. Fellas, I wouldn't even advise y'all to do it. You know, because y'all already know how things is. Don't be teasing people on internet. Yeah, your brother dead. I'm smoking on your brother right here. You hurt people's feelings. Plus, you don't know how big his family is. You know, they be watching you live. You know, because that's how we do watch enemy shit. And he's sitting there with his cousin. Yeah, I'm sitting right here, smoking on G-Strip. Fresh fish out packet ass. This fresh G-Strip. What you think my people go say when they say, what that nigga just say? He's smoking on G-Strip. He said he's smoking on my cousin. Yeah. You know where this nigga stay at, bro? Yeah, he's from right there on such and such block. Yeah, all right, we going to see that nigga, man. That pussy ass nigga said he's smoking on G-Shrimp. This nigga ain't been dead 30 fucking minutes, bro. They done rolled him up already. I look at it like if a nigga done died, y'all ain't got to talk about him no more. Don't even speak about him. Don't smoke him and no, none of that. You already smoked him. Literally. You don't need to put him in the air on no weed. That shit childish and is very dangerous. But the niggas who do that, them the ones that they ain't out here slinging no iron. They just smoking and talking shit online. The real steppers, you ain't seeing. They in the same room with them, but you won't see them in the camera. You know. Yeah, we smoking this new hot pack right here. Courtesy of Tone Loc over there. So, thanks for the new hot pack, Joe. He like anytime gangster. You know, little shit like that. But nigga be like, yeah, all right. But we don't know who Tony is in the corner. But this nigga here, we gonna knock his motherfucking head off. You see how they did that woman down there. Everybody talking about they was trying to kill dude. Well, why the fuck he ain't dead? Why the fuck he ain't dead? They had enough firepower, enough niggas and everything. Why he ain't dead? Because the hit was not for him. That's her car. She's always driving. Somebody else gonna say he was driving. No, she was driving. She was driving. I think niggas would drive a little better than that. Niggas shooting at you, you driving for your life. You don't want to run into shit. You might try not to run into some shit. You might. That's somebody panic, had been hit like, oh my God. Boom! And hit that motherfucker. And he was down on the floor, balled up kinda. And she stuck. She probably had a seatbelt on. Can't, oh my God, couldn't really get out, or they kept coming around to the driver's side. Kept coming to the driver's side. After they lit the motherfucker up, they come to the driver's side. They shooting all through the door. Because they know these niggas is getting low in there. They shoot through the door. When they got ready to leave, y'all, they turned and pulled up on the car and let off a switch. Put some more shells in that motherfucker. And he got his baby in the car. Tinted windows help you, y'all, and they will hurt you sometimes. They will hurt you. We had a guy around here, I ain't gonna say his name, right? His mama drove his car one day, and we was beefing, and she drove that motherfucker dead up our alley. And boy, people was on that motherfucker. They damn near stepped on that woman. You hear me? If it wasn't for me, I ain't got perfect vision, but I was standing in the middle where I could say, I'm like, man, that's not here. That's his mama. Joe, that's his mama. And they finna bang that nigga ass out. Probably like, this nigga coming up the alley, and it wasn't so much as just he was worth nothing like that. It just, I guess they like this one of these niggas, and coming up the alley, our alley. Man, if I had to do half of my life over, I always used to joke and say I probably wouldn't change a thing. Yes, the fuck I would. I would start over. I would start over for real. I would make sure I get my fucking license from the Jump Street. I would make sure my credit stays straight. You know, I would educate my baby mama on child support and what not to put on there. Bitch, don't put my name on there. You could have spelt it wrong. And duck them people. Don't let them scare you. If you don't give me the name, then we're not going to give you a check. You could have made up a name. His name is Snoopy. Snoop Doggy Dog. But that's how it is, y'all. Well, anyway, man, it's your boy G Shrimp. Everybody favorite baby daddy, voice of the street, man. I'm going to punch you now and dig you later. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching the G Shrimp Show, man. Hit that like button, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. And some of y'all, start hitting that cash out, because ain't been nobody showing your boy no love, man. I'm about 2 days away from going back to the streets, y'all. And I'm dead ass serious. I ain't just saying that. I'm about 2 days away from going back to the street. So y'all love the boy like that. I don't give a fuck. $5, $3, $4. Y'all know y'all got something on the cash app. Some of you people got your income tax check. Put a motherfucker dub in there. Put a C-note in there, man. Put a C-note in there, man. Help the channel grow, because I pays for all this shit. All of it. The best thing I got going for me is I own my own fucking building. You know, I own this building, so I ain't worrying about rent, this and that. But we still got to pay light bill, gas bill, and other things like that too. Insurance on your property. All that shit have to be paid. But I ain't losing no sleep or stressing out about, damn, I gotta pay rent this month, I ain't got this and that. I ain't stressing like that. But I'm still doing my thing. Y'all go see me, man. Your boy gonna be the biggest thing in Chicago in a couple of years, man. You feel me? I'm out of here.